Good morning everyone, welcome back to our market wrap. It's Stuart here with Scott from mobilelenders.com.au. We're going to talk all things finance today because I've had a lot of clients, I suppose over the last couple of weeks, starting to go through that buying process, and they're finding finance a bit tricky to get through, and they're sort of wanting a bit more advice in how to go about it. So we thought we'd bring Scott in here today, just ask him a few main questions, and hopefully he can help, I suppose, those people out there looking for a bit of finance advice. First of all, Scott has been in finance for 4 years now, and you've probably seen a lot of situations already as it is.
Absolutely. So I came into the industry when it was starting to change with the changes to investment lending and changes to home lending in the last 4 years. There's been, as you said, a lot of changes, and some of those have only happened in the last 6 months. Things coming out of the Royal Commission and things coming out about borrowing capacity. How much can you afford to borrow based on your living expenses, and also other debts you have. Things like credit cards are being reviewed and assessed a whole lot differently to what they were, more like 3 or 4 years ago.
Right. So we'll start from the very beginning. If you've got someone out there who's looking to buy an investment property or a first home, and they know they need finance, what should be sort of the first thing they should do to sort of see, to get approved, I suppose?
My obvious answer is going to be see a broker. We have access to 35 lenders. And the main thing you're looking for there is you have to fit policy first.
Right.
We can look at online and we can see 3.49%, but really about 2% of people qualify for that.
Wow, okay.
What's better is to see a broker, find out what you do qualify for first, where you've got a 98% chance of being approved. That's the thing, you want to buy the house.
Yes, absolutely.
You can't borrow money at 3.49 and get $300,000 if you want to buy a $500,000 house.
Right.
So you need to be able to afford the loan, you need to be able to live normally. Obviously, some people will try and say, they spend $1,000 a month.
Yeah.
Not many people can actually do that. And the banks, this is the thing that's happened in the Royal Commission, is the banks are getting verification. So you might have 4 bank accounts, and some lenders will ask for 3 months statements of all 4 bank accounts.
Wow.
What do you spend your money on? What comes in? They're verifying what your income is, and they're verifying that you may have a credit card that you're paying $1,000 a month off your credit card, and they'll say, "Oh, hang on, we need to see more information." The broker can do all of this without speaking to the bank directly, but give you a very clear idea of what you need to do to position yourself better.
Fantastic.
That could be closing credit cards, or just adjusting your spending for a few months to show that you're saving money.
Absolutely. So I suppose it's about doing your research, knowing what you spend, what you actually have, how much you require, and obviously, as you mentioned, see a broker and things like that, and that's where you could help as well.
Absolutely.
So that's what we saw. So for you out there, if that's what you need to do, seek financial advice first before you jump into it, because once you jump into something you're not sort of sure about, and can be a lot harder to get out, I'd assume. So
there are specific banks who actually have a very low borrowing capacity, and if you happen to bank with that big 4 bank and you walk in and say, I want a loan, they're going to assess you, and unfortunately you could be declined. That's now on your credit history report. And when you go to the next lender, they're going to go, why did Westpac say no? And you're going to, I don't know. You need to know these things so that you position your application for the lender that you're applying to get a yes. It's very important.
Absolutely. And I suppose all those little, don't want those marks in your credit history going forward, because it makes it very, very tricky. So that's the way. So again, if you're out there looking for a home and you want to sort of start getting your finance organised, I highly recommend speaking to Scott from mobilelenders.com.au. He's helped numerous of our clients through that same process, and he's been very, very helpful to us and the clients as well, so we're thankful. So if you want to speak to Scott, he will have his business cards and brochures here in the office, but for now, go and see mobilelenders.com.au and speak to Scott. He'll help you out. Thanks, guys.